Hello. Hello students. In this section, we will discuss classification of carbon and hydrogen atoms in the organic compounds. So the carbons are classified into 4 types based on the carbon atom is bonded with the other carbon. That 4 types are primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary carbon. Quaternary carbon. So in that one, what is primary carbon? So that are represented 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, and 4 degree. So the first one, how to take primary carbon. So in the primary carbon, the carbon is bonded with only the single carbon atom. Single carbon atom, then that are considered as a primary carbon. This is the primary carbon, and this one is also primary carbon. Whatever the hydrogens are there at the carbon atom, then that are considered as a primary hydrogens. Secondary carbon means the carbon atom is bonded with 2 carbon atoms. Then this carbon is considered as a secondary carbon. Tertiary carbon means the carbon atom is bonded with 3 carbon atom. Then the carbon is considered as a tertiary carbon. Quaternary carbon means carbon atom is bonded with 4 carbon atoms. So that is considered as a quaternary carbon. The primary carbon contains 3 hydrogen atoms. Secondary carbon contains 2 hydrogens. Tertiary carbon contains 1 hydrogen. And the quaternary carbon do not contain any hydrogen. 0 hydrogens are present at quaternary carbon. Here how to consider the first example. To calculate how many primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary carbons are present and what are the hydrogens. So the first example, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. In this one, how to predict which one is exhibit the primary and which is exhibit the secondary and tertiary one. So, carbon is bonded with the single carbon atom, that is primary. So this is bonded with only the 1 carbon atom. So that's why this is the primary carbon, and this is bonded with the 2 carbon atoms. So then this is secondary, and the same thing, this is secondary, and this one is the primary. Primary carbon atoms are 2, secondary carbon atoms are 2. Primary carbon contains how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens into 3. So the 6 primary hydrogens are present. And the secondary carbon contains 2 hydrogens. So that is 4 hydrogens are there. So the ratio of primary carbon and secondary carbon is 2:2. And hydrogens ratio is 6:4. 6:4. And the next example, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH3, CH3, and CH3. This is bonded with the only one carbon. This is the primary, and this one is also primary, 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 and primary. And this is the quaternary, tertiary, and this is secondary, and this one is a quaternary carbon. Here, the primary carbon atoms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carbon atoms. Primary carbon atoms are 5. Secondary carbon atoms are 1. Tertiary carbon atoms are 1. Quaternary carbon atoms also 1. Then how to find out the hydrogens? Each primary carbon contains 3 hydrogens. 15 hydrogens. And here the 2 hydrogens, 1 hydrogen, and there is no hydrogen at quaternary carbon. Next one. Third one. And this example contain all 4 types of carbon atoms are present. CH3, 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 and CH3. Primary, secondary, primary, primary, and this is the primary, primary, and this one is a quaternary. Only 2 types of carbon atoms are there. One is the primary carbon. Primary carbon is equal to 4, and the second quaternary carbons are 1. So these are the carbons, and the hydrogens. Each primary carbon contains 3, and these are the 12, and there is no hydrogen atoms. And the next one, this one is cyclohexane. Here there is no quaternary, primary, and tertiary carbons. Only secondary carbon atoms are there. The carbon atom is bonded with the carbon atom. Carbon is bonded with the 2 carbon atoms. So all are secondary carbons. Secondary carbons are 6. 6 into each carbon contain 2 hydrogens. That is 12 hydrogens are present. The carbons are secondary carbons. Secondary carbons are 6. And these are the hydrogens. And next one. This one is the structure. And this is the primary carbon. And this is the primary carbon. Primary carbon. These are the secondary and secondary, secondary. This one is the tertiary carbon, and this is also tertiary carbon. So primary carbon atoms are primary carbon atoms 3, secondary carbon atoms 3, and tertiary carbon atoms are also 3. Then how to find out hydrogens? Each primary carbon atoms contain 3 hydrogens, 3 carbon atoms, 3 3s are 9, and these are the 6. And quaternary carbon tertiary carbon contain single hydrogen. 3 tertiary carbon atoms are there, that are 3. And the next one, this carbon is bonded with the 4 carbon atoms. This is the quaternary carbon. And this one is secondary carbon, tertiary carbon, secondary carbon, secondary carbon, and this is the secondary carbon. This one is the primary, and these two are also primary carbon atoms. So primary carbon atoms are carbons. Primary carbon atoms are 3. Secondary carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, 4. Secondary carbons are 4. And the tertiary carbon atoms are 1. Quaternary carbon atoms are 1. Write the hydrogens. Here the hydrogens, primary carbon atom contain 3 hydrogens. 3 primary carbon atoms are 9 hydrogens. And here the secondary carbon atoms are 4. Each secondary carbon contains the 2 hydrogens, 8. And this one is 1. And there is no hydrogen atoms at quaternary carbon, that is 0. Thank you. For more updates, please subscribe my channel.